So good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Brown. I am the Customer Care Director for Educational Leadership Solutions. Today we'll be talking about one of our products, the Formative Writing Assessment. Before we get started, though, I want to bring your attention here to the bottom of the page where there's a phone number that says 877-233-7833. That's our number. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call there at that number. Also over to the left is a live chat button. So if you're on our site, you click live chat. You can bring up a box there to put in your name and email address. You can chat with us live. There's also a support page here. So this support page has all of our manuals, our videos, formative writing assessment is right there in the bottom. More than likely, once this webinar is done, we'll place that right in there for you too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll click where it says open next to easy assessment. Currently, formative writing is inside easy assessment. That won't be the case for much longer. We're going to move it out and make it its own product. So, but currently right now we'll go into easy assessment. We'll click open right here. And bottom left box under administer test, there's our writing assessment right here. So to get started, what we'll do, and the way this works is students are assigned a piece of writing, they write to it, that piece of writing is scored by the program, and then you get your results that way. So this is how it all works. We click where it says assign right here under writing. We'll put in a description for our assignment. We'll call this demo webinar. We'll choose a writing prompt. I'm going to choose Ellis Island. That's the one that we usually demonstrate with. So here's Ellis Island. As soon as we choose our prompt, it brings it up right here for us. This particular passage or this particular prompt is actually two passages. You see there where it says passage 1, welcome to Ellis Island. So students read that. They read passage 2, American Wings. Read those all the way through. And then it has a question there at the top. So it says use details from both texts to support your answer to that question. So there's our prompt. We can see it right there. Also right here, there's a button that says download related documents. If we click there, we can choose that prompt, download that prompt. An instructional guide is available. Let me show you that instructional guide too. So as soon as we click it, it downloads it as a PDF file for us. So here's the instructional guide for Ellis Island. And basically what this does is just helps people to see how to implement this writing tool into their classrooms. So some general information here about the assessment. So getting to know the informative genre and rubric. So there's quite a lot of information in here. Here's a couple of teacher activities for the teachers. A checklist there. Here's the passage itself again. So passage 1 and 2. And here's our rubric, our 4-point rubric for that passage. Some transition words, some verbs. There's a graphic organizer here at the bottom of our instructional guide. So all of this information is available for every one of the passages that you have access to. So once you select that passage, then you'll be able to choose those related documents as well. The 4-point writing rubric is right there. So if we click that, it'll bring that up for us. We have a writer's model as well. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's I downloaded that just a minute ago, but it shows us an example of what each one of those points would be. So here's an example of what the 3-point piece of writing would look like. So this piece of writing for this prompt is worth 3 points. So that's what that writer's model will do for us. And we'll see that just a little bit clearer here in a few minutes. So once we've typed in our description, we've chosen our prompt, we've downloaded our related documents, we can choose a teacher. I'm going to choose Miss Barrage here. Choose a grade level. I think this particular piece of writing is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Reporting date. The reporting date doesn't necessarily have to be when the students are completely finished with the passage. The reporting date is just for reporting data. So we can choose whatever date we want here, and students can still finish up later on if they need to. Now, the draft mode is important. You have two options, original and revision. Basically the thought process behind this is that students get the opportunity to write 6 times during the year. So they write once as the original draft to Ellis Island, let's say. Well, a week or so later, once they've received the results, they've gone over them. The teacher has had time to coach the students, has had time to go over those results with those students, and then they're ready to revise that piece of writing. So where it says revision, we'll create another assignment, choose revision, choose the same students, and choose the same prompt, and allow them to write again to this piece of writing, to this prompt, and then revise their original piece of writing, hopefully for a higher score. So we're going to choose original for this one. We'll choose a class. Let's see if Miss Raj has a class here. So we'll choose her reading class, and then we'll click where it says add class. That will put all of those students right there in the list. It will generate a student key. So every student receives a different access code for their piece of writing. So we're done here. We'll click where it says save. It saves our data. It takes us right back out to here. And then here's our assignment that we just created. Now, the students receive their individual access codes. So here is the access code for this student. I'm going to choose Terry Hinkle because we hardly ever choose that one when we do these demonstrations. So we'll choose Terry Hinkle. I'm going to see if I can, well, I'll tell you what. We'll just open up another window here and we'll go to, actually, I can't remember what we go to. So we'll go here. There's that login right there. And so on that page, students will choose writing assignment, and then they'll put in their, we said Terry Hinkle, I believe. So we'll put in their access code and then click login. And so now this student is able to go here to this page, read through this prompt, again, passage 1, passage 2, and respond to this question. What challenges did immigrants face coming to America? So there's their prompt. Once they've done that, here's the current draft. Students will type their essay into this box. Now, a lot of times we've heard of teachers who are testing lower grades who may not be familiar with using keyboards, and it's taking forever. And what they'll do is they'll have the students write down their answer, and then the teacher will just go in and key it in for them. That's a possible solution if you guys wanted to do that. Basically, however you can get it into this program, it doesn't really matter. For instance, here I've got this same writer's model um, pulled up, so I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to paste it right here in this box. So here's my essay, paste it right there in the box. So students can use Word to type out their essay, copy and paste it. They can use Notepad, whatever, however you can get that essay into this program is fine. So now students have the option of clicking Save Essay, and really, if they're typing directly into this box, I would suggest that they did that every 5 minutes or so. That will keep them from getting logged out. But once they save it, they tells us how many words, how many characters, and then how much we have left. They can click Save and Finish Later, which will log the student out. And once they're completely through with their piece of writing, they can click Submit as Final. Now, once a student has clicked Submit as Final, it brings up this message. It says, are you sure that you want to do that? Because once you have done that, then you can't, it can't be undone. Technically, it can't be undone, says you will not be able to modify your essay again. Teachers are able to go back in here and open that up for students to finish. So we're going to go ahead and click Submit Essay here. And then we're going to go back to our page here as a teacher. So now as a teacher, and I think so it logs me out as a teacher. Actually, I'm in as an administrator. But once you log in as a student, it kicks you out as an administrator or teacher. So we'll go back here to our administer test box, and we'll click where it says manage. And again, here is our assignment. If we click this button right here, this magnifying glass, it will show us all of our students in our list. Here's that one student that has finalized. See that right there in the status? This student has finalized her essay. Here's her essay. Now, as a teacher or administrator, we can say, you know what, Terry, you need to go back in and finish this. It looks awful. So we can click this button right here. That will unlock the student's login. And then that student will have to go back in, make whatever revision that we deem necessary, and then resubmit it as final. But now, so this student has finished her essay. So we'll put a check right here in this box, and we'll click where it says score checked. So it lets us know that we need to make sure that the students are actually ready for scoring, because each submission, each time we come in here and we score one of these, it counts as a submission. Okay, and the students only get six submissions per year. So once it's been scored, it cannot be scored again. So we'll click score them. It takes about 2 or 3 seconds. So now this essay is completely scored. We'll click right there where it says scores. And here's our student's essay again. We've got our word count, grade level readability, holistic score. And remember, that was that one that we said was going to be a 3, was worth 3 points. So here's our holistic score: focus and meaning, content development, organization, language use and style, and mechanics. So this page, we can actually print this page out for the student, and up here at the top where it says font size, we can make our font size as big as we want, our spacing as big as we want. I'm going to take the font size down and leave our spacing kind of large here. What this does is actually creates a worksheet for the student to come in here and make their revisions right here on this page, because we can add in our grammar checks as well. So for this student, being that she scored pretty high, we'll put in advanced grammar check here, and then we'll say show grammar rules. So now when we print this out and give this back to the student will be able to see exactly what the grammar mistakes he or she made. Well, this is a she, so she'll be able to see the grammar mistakes that she made and correct those. Now, whether or not that actually changes the score, then that's to be determined. It's not really just a grammar worksheet here, so she'll have to change all of her focus and meaning, content development, in order to achieve a higher grade. So once that's done, again, we can print it right there, and then we can go on to our other students. Now, we spoke
Chris,
before. Yes.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure, go right ahead.
On that grammar check, it was marking Ellis Island as an issue. Is there a way to override what it marks?
There is not. And really, I'm not sure what the issue was there with that one. The thing is, again, this is just a computer program.
Right.
So I would let the students know, some of the things that it marks. may not necessarily be a problem. And also, it may not catch every single grammar mistake or every
Right.
error.
Right.
So, yeah, I would definitely let the students know that, um, so it doesn't freak them out if it marks something incorrect that's not actually incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, I'm not really sure. It may be that there's an extra space or something there for Ellis Island. I'm not really sure why it flagged that. So, but yeah, I would definitely and let me just stress too that this doesn't actually, I mean, this doesn't replace the teacher. This is just
Right.
a tool that's used to help a teacher, but it definitely does not replace um, the teacher. It doesn't take the teacher's job at all. So, but if it's used properly, it can definitely be effective. So now back here on this page, we have our student that has submitted their piece of writing. Now it's a week or so later, they've had an opportunity to go in there and read, and we're going to say demo revision for this piece of writing or for this assignment that we're creating. We're going to choose Ellis Island one more time. The teacher grade level reporting date will be next month. Draft mode this time is going to be revision. Okay, so we just had that one student. I think her name was Terry something or another, Hinkle. So here's Terry. We're going to add that one student to the list right here. So again, we've got our passage, we've got our teacher, we've got our student, and we've selected revision as our draft mode. So we'll click where it says save. Here's that student. We're going to pull her access code and pop that right there. So now this student, when she goes back in, again, she'll have access to passage 1, passage 2, but she also has access to her previous draft right there. So now if she's going in here to make changes to this, she can see the grammar check that she had before, but she can also click append to current draft, which will pop everything that she wrote up here down here in this box for her to make changes to. All right, so now let's say she's completely reworked her essay, and she's going to come into this page. Let's see if I can get the whole thing here. So she'll come into this page, and she'll put her essay right in there. I just took the bottom of that, so let's get that out of there. Okay, so she's got her essay here that she's completely reworked. She'll click where it says submit as final and then click submit. So now as a teacher, if we go back here to this page, again, it's going to log me out. So I have to log back in. So we go back to our manage page and we click this magnifying glass for this teacher. Here's our student that has finished her writing assignment again. We'll put a check in the box, click score checked, score that student's assignment. And again, that was live. That's how long it takes for this program to score a student's writing. So here's that student's writing, again, worth 4 points this time. So she's improved her piece of writing. And again, we can change our font size, our spacing, and then apply a grammar check as well. Are there any questions about any of this, or any other questions about this? Okay, so that's basically how the formative writing assessment works.
Chris,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the number of submissions.
Okay.
That's on that one draft, or is it on if I do multiple assignments through a year, so say we did the Ellis Island
Right.
and worked on it for the first half of the year, and then say we did pick something else during the second half of the year, would you again have 6 submissions on that one?
What we suggest is having the students write to 3 prompts during the year. So, and this is, I can't go back. So when you create your assignment there, you have the option of selecting whichever prompt you want. We suggest having the students write to 3 of those prompts a year, writing an original draft and then a revision. So 2 submissions per prompt is what we suggest.
So when you say 6 submissions, it doesn't matter. I mean, how many different prompts or how you divide it or the teacher divides it out. It's 6 submissions, period.
That's right. That's right. Yes, ma'am. So, I mean, you could have them write to 6 different prompts if you wanted to, or you could have them write to 3, or 2. It doesn't matter. Whichever you prefer, whichever is best for your students.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So again, let me draw your attention back to this page. On the home page there, at the bottom is a phone number. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call. There's a live chat button right there as well, where you can chat with us live if you put in your name and your email address. All right. If there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and close it out.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. You guys have a good day. Thanks for listening.